Hey everybody, Bobby D here again, and thanks for checking back in. So I'm a little jazzed up right now because, hey, I'm in the Midwest, Michigan. It's mid-February, and we've already been dealing with temps in the 50s and low 60s already down by Detroit. Pretty much all the snow's gone, for now. But hey, with that said, it's been a nice little reprieve. I've been seeing bikes, more posts, more activity of people out riding down south, out west and everything. So hey, it's been a little bit of a break for guys up this way to get out on their bikes and get out on the road. I've been hearing bikes, I've been seeing bikes, and that leads me back to talking about the roads. So up here in Michigan, these Midwest states, our roads are coated with salt in the wintertime. So we put the salt down, it melts the snow, it melts the ice. Some of the states down south, out west or whatnot, when they get the cold weather, they use sand. Around here, we use salt, and that can be a huge problem. I'm not gonna talk about what it does to your vehicle as far as your car, your truck, but let's talk about our motorcycles. When we get these first, few days in the spring, typically we're talking March and April when everybody's wanting to get on their bike, we might not have had a rain yet to wash away that powder, that residue, and that salt. So let's get at that for a minute. So salt, why is it a problem? Well, for steel, wait, I'm gonna back up. I'm not gonna turn this into a chemistry class or a lesson, but let's just keep this simple. Salt speeds up rusting. There's this electrolysis process that happens, all that shit, but it speeds up rusting of steel. There's this galvanic process that happens with aluminum. It speeds up the corrosion of aluminum. And pretty much in a nutshell, the way this works and what it's going on with it is salt is pulling in moisture and it's causing water to actually do what it's normally doing, just at a faster rate. So if you go for a ride on your motorcycle, you're getting that itch to get out right now, like what I'm talking about, and you come back in and you have a powder residue of salt all over the bike. What's gonna start happening? Well, as that salt sits there and your bike changes temperatures, it's going from warm, you've been out hitting it on that thing, and it starts to cool down, it's gonna do just like your beer can does. There's gonna be some condensation starting to form on that bike, like a dew happens in the summer when it starts cooling down at night. And if you have that powder residue on the bike of salt, you're now speeding up the corrosion process quite a bit more than if it were just moisture sitting on the bike, dew, like a standard summer day. So with all that out there, there's a couple things you can do, you should do, if you're getting that itch to get out on your bike before the roads have kind of washed off or cleared of that salt. So one of the things is you need to wash the thing, and washing it with cold water at first to rinse off that salt is ideal. You don't want to use hot, it speeds that whole process back up. So if you get the bike back in, rinse it with cold water. Now, better yet, here's a little bit of that chemistry I wanted to avoid, but you need to neutralize what's happening with the salt on those metals, on those anodized finishes, on all those coatings, all your nuts, bolts, fasteners, those little metal areas on your banjo bolts, on your braking components, your lower fork legs, all the anodized, that nice stuff on your brake rotors, all that stuff is gonna rust, and you need to get that powder off. Sometimes just rinsing it with that cold water and then a good soap might not get to that. So here's a little tip for you. Get some baking soda, that box of that yellow stuff. You might have some in your refrigerator right now, who knows, but get yourself a box of baking soda. It costs $1 or $2. And swish that around in a bucket of water. And when you first rinse the bike, rinse it off with the solution of the baking soda in cold water. That's gonna neutralize the salt, get it off the bike, and then get yourself a high quality soap. Wash the bike up good. Some of these soaps have, the ceramic coating stuff in them, waxes and things like that. That's better yet and ideal, because as you're washing away the salts, the grime, and all that crap from your roads, you're also putting a little bit of a thin film, protective barrier on the bike for next time you get that itch to get out before things are rinsed off. And you don't probably have to do the baking soda thing, once you're riding in the summer and the spring and all that in the fall, but those other soaps that I'm talking about, those are a good idea. You know, if you look at our motorcycles, as the technology gets up and as these things get fancier, more and more of the nuts and the bolts and things have nicer finishes on them to, you know, cover up those exotic metals and things. If you want to keep that finish looking good, these are a couple tips for you. If you don't care, hey, just get out there, rock that shit, stand it up, do your thing. But salt corrosion, hey, in my mind, I don't want my bike looking like, hey, it's 10 years old when it's not, or old or whatnot. So, hey, I hope this helps you out. I kept it short, kept it sweet. I'm not out on mine yet. I'm waiting for these roads to get rinsed off a little bit more till I get them out. So, hope you like what you're hearing. Check back in for more content. Hit that like, subscribe. Give me some comments. Is your bike all jacked up from the salt? Or, hey, have you been doing things to avoid this? So, all right, man, check back in.